Hey y'all, I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite animes ever. I just finished season 3 of this anime, so I figured this was as good a point as any. I want to talk about Food Wars, which I have watched way too many times to be healthy. I, I mean, granted, I'd only watch season 1 and 2 at the start because season 3 hasn't been out yet. But then I found it and I watched it, and I'm probably gonna go back and watch it over. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the entire series over and over till season 4. And then I'm gonna go back and watch that over and over and get it. Because it's just so great. And I'm not the best really at remembering details, so I'm just gonna talk about what I like about the show. I'll go into some detail on TV episodes and big TV arcs that I think they reach. Yeah, like the training camp, for example. I think that's a big arc for some of Yukihira, as well as Nakari, Aaron and Nakari, and all the others. But I did want to talk about this because I love it and because it's great. Now, I didn't know much about this anime going in. I only got a recommendation from Anime America, not a personal recommendation, but just a general recommendation to give it a watch, and I'm glad I did. I'm so glad I did. I watched the dub, and for you aware that season 4 is out now in um in the Japanese language. I'm fully aware of that. But I feel like I say this every video. I watch the dub because I want to, and not that I have a problem with sub. I watch the sub if I have to or just want to, yeah, like I had to do with some of the Yu-Gi-Oh series. But but I just prefer not having to read, not having to read what they're saying, because then you run the risk of missing something. But I'm not trying to sow shade in any sub watchers. I'm just trying to say that's why I watch dub. That's why people watch different versions of things, because they like them and because it's their priority. It may be better in the sub, I don't know, and honestly, I don't care. But I watch the dub because I want to, and use it respects people's choices and what they watch and why they watch it. Because I see a lot of people say, "Oh, we watch the dub, but the sub is so much better. The sub is so much better." And I know that they're just trying to help, but honestly, I'm not gonna watch the sub unless I have to, or unless I want to. So sorry for that little rant. I didn't expect to go off on that, but that's just why I watch dub, and that's what I would do to with 4Kids and everything. With food dub isn't 4Kids, and thank God it's not, because there's the other dubs that would fly past censors. But moving on to that year rant. I'm glad I gave this anime a try. It became one of my favorite anime of all time. Second only to Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably, because Yu-Gi-Oh's always probably going to be my favorite anime in existence. Um, Starting off with episode 1. We we're introduced to some Yukihira, and we're introduced to Dad, and there's really no dialogue in this. We just see plates of food placed out before a young woman. And she judges them, she eats them, and she picks, oh, this one wins, this one's the winner. And we get from that the gist of what they're about, the gist of what's after that. Soma says, well, I guess I'll take the yacht today. His dad, really good natured and kind of mocking, he says, in order to say something like that, you'd have to beat me at each once. You're standing at like 500 yachts, isn't that right? And someone said, oh, don't even, it's only 489, Dad, you don't know. But I love that. I love the interaction. I love the pace. I love just everything about it. They run a small business called the Yukira Restaurant, him and his father. No other person on the staff, just them. And then a business type mogul comes in and says, "Hey, have you considered my offer? We want to buy this place, and we want to change it. We want to change it in their eyes for the better. We want to change it for the better. We want to buy this place. We want to." I don't really know why, and this has never been followed up on. Like this has never been brought back up in the season since. But that was a good first introduction because from then on we get Soma saying to this woman, "Oh, Aesop just prides itself on providing the customers with what they want." So Yeti asked, "Well, what if you couldn't provide the customers with what they want?" And this is one of my favorite awesome dirty Giants from Soma. Cause he just so dead serious on this. Soma basically says, well, that's easy. If we couldn't provide the customers with what they want, we would caddy shut our doors and go out of business for eternity. But he said that way better than I just did. You've got to hunt that down because he said it way better than I just did. And we get this woman promising to be back. Soma's on the way to the market next, on the way back from the market. Next, we see them to grab some stuff for breakfast. And he goes in the shop. And the place has just been ransacked. I mean, the meat is out, the meat is on the floor, it's not good anymore. The place is just ransacked. And it doesn't look like they robbed Soma. It just looks like people just wanted to take some food out. We get this woman come back, and she requests a fat and juicy meat dish because, well, she thinks that they boiled all the meat and they took out all the meat and everything. Yucky, Soma Yukira comes back with some bacon for breakfast. So she requests the fat and juicy meat dish. She doesn't even think this guy's gonna try it because all the meat is bad that they have there anyway. But lo and behold, Soma does try something, and try something he does. And the woman's getting a little worried, getting a little suspicious, saying, "Hey, you took out all the meat, right?" there shouldn't be any meat yet for him to make anything. So what on earth is this kid gonna make with no fresh meat? Lo and behold, he makes a pseudo pork roast, what it called. He fries the potatoes, he roasts potatoes, he wraps it in bacon. It looks really good. It looks really succulent. This woman is having none of it though. She says, "Hey, hey, I wanted to meet this. I wanted to, fluffy, juicy meat. This. There's no time for compromise in this young work." She goes on to say, what she does. Hey, I run top in restaurants. All the chefs under my employ are top end restaurants which I put together. So this shop is worthiest. This shop is not high end. This shop is not worth anything. And someone puts this before, and someone just said, very coy, he said, "Hey, if you want to know what you care about, you learn it from this dish. Go ahead and take a bite." The the aroma is so succulent from that. She's surprised. She goes ahead and takes a bite, and she just. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She basically has a foodgasm. She she basically is so delighted by the food that she has kind of a sexual experience, but with food. And there's no better way to describe it. And and that and that doesn't completely sum up why I love the show as a whole, but that's one of the big reasons, because food is very important to them, and quality is very important to them, and quality is very important to me too. So I just love the soul because of that. You have the soul for its in your face nature, and it's kind of like a better version of Ratatouille when when Seth Ego was when Seth the main Seth Guto says, "Hey, anyone can cook." This takes that saying, that philosophy, but puts it in an anime. And that is just so great. So, Soma is about to take it away. He says, if you want more, you'll have to make me a promise that you'll never come after this restaurant again. And initially, the 80s hesitant. Initially, he says, "Oh, well, fat chance, kid. Not a chance, in Hades that I'll do that." And Soma said, very cocky and very coy, he picks up the plate and he says, "Well, all right then. I guess this wasn't to your satisfaction. I'll just have to throw it out." And the aroma walked by some people that came in with the 80. They entranced by it too. And the 80 said, "Wait, no, no, I promise, I want more. I want more of that. I promise I'll never come into this restaurant with malicious intent again. I just want more. I just want more of what you have." And this meat dish is served as pseudo pork roll, and everyone goes bonkers for it. And yeah, Soma saves the restaurant like that. We see Soma after this go outside of the restaurant. The silence is smeared. the Yukihira side. And this is one of the other main reasons why I love this show. While Yukihira is keening, while Soma Yukihira is keening the side of the Yukihira restaurant, he's thinking to himself, I'll never get this PA killed, ever. He says, still to this day, one of my favorite lines. He says, Yukihira is the temple that I will master my cooking. And before long, I'll be the one running the restaurant. Because what he does is so important. It is so important to CI, and he takes such pride in it. And I identify with that. I'm not a chef myself, but I identify with putting out quality and taking pride in your work and stuff like that. And taking pride not in quality, or not in quantity, but in quality, I sympathize with that too. That's one of the main reasons I love this show. His dad comes back to the shop and says, Hey Soma, for a few years I'm afraid we're gonna have to shut down the shop. And Soma's like, what? You can't just bring that on someone. I mean, just wait and yet talk about this. You can't just bring that on someone. His dad, Joyo Saiba, as we said to him, it's time for you to go too, Soma. Come when you know what you're made of. Come back when you rise what you're made of. When you realize how far you can go. Come back then and run this restaurant your way. Not my way, not mimicry, but your way, your own way. His dad says, oh no, Soma walks and he's all discouraged and stuff. He's walking up a pathway, he's all discouraged. He says, cooking school. Why would I need to go to a place like that? Paying someone money to teach me cooking is just stupid. It's just silly. Why would he send me to a place like this? Lo and behold, young man, you're in for a rude awakening. You're in for quite a rude awakening. He goes up to the school. This Chochi resort of fine dining. And his dad is with him on the phone. He says, know this, son. This cooking academy has a graduation rate of less than 10%, which means most of the people you meet won't even get the month. The thought of you getting better than me at cooking is laughable. But if you could survive this goal and then go on to beat me, then you've earned my respect. Then you've earned my respect in the cooking world. This gives some even more motivation. This says, hey, I'm doing it. I'm gonna get better than you. I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass my exam. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna surpass you one day. And Yon Mo, that's what he's on track to do. On his first day to get in, a lot of people are there. A lot of people with aspirations to be chefs a lot of people with aspirations to be big in the cooking world are there. And he sits down next to this one guy and says, "Hey, you run a restaurant too? What a coincidence! I run a restaurant with my dad back home." And the young man next to him says, "I don't know if he even knew his name. I don't care either way, but I don't know if he ever knew his name." This this young man said to him, "You," he kicked them anime style off the bench, and he said, you may know Young is sitting next to me. Someone from a diner actually thinks they can go here. Someone from the diner actually thinks they have what it takes to get. And behold, that'll come back to bite them in the backside in just a few minutes." Um, Soma defended restaurant with the chokehold. He said, "Hey, don't you talk down to me. Don't you talk down to me for where I came from." Yo and Mo, the first day on the entrance exam, they go where they're supposed to. They meet with the instructor. And it's she's known as a god tongue, Arananakari. And this woman's known for tasting on these highest levels of cuisine. As soon as they realize the instructor's gonna be Alice Knockery, and the only there's more instructions for the day, but Aaron the Knockery doesn't have any time for that. Her only instruction for the freshmen for the first years is to make me one proper dish using eggs. If you could make a dish that satisfies me, that satisfies my palate, you'll pass. But those who don't meet to my standards will be summarily expelled from the academy, will be banned from the academy for life. They'll never be able to be let back in. She said, "You have 1 minute. You have 1 minute to decide what it's gonna be." And everyone just everyone just run out at this point because they're scared. And Soma Yukira grabs the guy by the neck, by the shirt collar, of the same guy who was harassing him, who was insulting him for being from a yellow cat restaurant. And he says, "Hey, why are you running away? What's going on?" And this guy says, with tears in his eyes, he explained to him, "Hey, do you know who that is? That's Arananakari. She's known as a god tongue. If she takes anything less than perfection, she will tell you you're untalented, a talented hack, and in a critique, she gives birth to the food industry." And Soma lets him go in the grave. We never see that guy again. Good riddance to bad rubbers, I say, because he wasn't meant to be a Sith. And Aaron the Knockery and her assistant say, "Hey, is that all? Is that all we have for the day? 0 contested pass. I'm going back to create a new dish, to work on a new dish." All that left standing, unbeknownst to them, all that left standing is Soma Yukihira. And they're a bit surprised. And Soma very casually says, "Hey, so I can just make whatever I want?" And Erna, Bessie, is shocked because this Yellowcastman, this commoner, is challenging her. He's he's challenge he's basically challenging her tongue and saying that, hey, I could make something that satisfies you. You just have to say it tastes good, right? And I love Soma Yukira. I love his spirit, I love his passion, I love his carefree nature. I just love him. And she said, yes, as long as you incorporate the egg, you're free to make whatever you want. As long as you incorporate the egg, as long as you incorporate everything, you're free to make whatever you want. And someone says, hey, I know what I'll make. I know what I'll make you to satisfy you. I'll teach you to bake my food. I'll teach you the true essence of cooking, as it were. And that just, that's why I'm just thinking about it, because it's just awesome to think about. So Thumb creates this. He says what he's gonna make for her is furikake rice. And they're both surprised to say furikake. That's a commoner's dish. Commoner's dish. And Thumb says, oh, but that's not what I'm gonna be making. What I'm gonna be making for you is transforming furikake rice. And yeah, that's just incredible to look at and incredible to think about. So the food gets done, and it looks like nothing. Well, it looks like nothing to Aaron to eat, because he's arrogant and he's pretty and all that stuff. It looks like nothing to Aaron. But she says, hey, I'll do you a solid. I'll do you a favor. I'll go ahead and take a bite. One. From this one bite, she then bites. When she takes this one bite, she then bites. Before she realizes what happens is yapped her tongue. And she said, and she thinks to herself, oh, I just tasting it. I just tasting that. I forgot to judge it. I love that. I love that. And Soma teases her, going in for a second bite. He says, are you going in for a second bite? I seem to recall you saying you only needed one bite, but you're going in for a second one. My food must be pretty delicious, huh? And Aaron goes off on him. He said, do not interrupt the god tongue. I need science and all that. And someone says, whoa, I was just kidding. Relax and enjoy. Enjoy my food. Relax and enjoy it. Because that's what food is meant to be. It's meant to be enjoyed. It's not really meant to be judged. It's meant to be enjoyed by whoever eats it, regardless of taste. If it's enjoyed, it's done its job. Someone didn't say that. I just imagine that's what he's thinking. So takes a second bite, and she goes into a foodgasm herself, into a sexual experience involving food because it's just so good. And she says, it's impossible. I live in the heavenly realms. I live in the powers of cultural excellence. I cannot approve this. her knees are gone weak, her legs are gone weak because of how good it is, and because of how she's fighting with herself. And someone says, if you spend all your time being the critic, if you spend all your time doing that, you'll never grow in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Is it delicious or not? Say it. And Erin is fighting with herself. The emotion is ramping up. The such masterful emotion is ramping up. And she finally wins the battle herself. You can tell she thinks it's delicious, but she finally wins the battle herself. It's the gut thing. It's the gut thing. And I think Soma knows that she knew it was delicious, but he doesn't try to argue. He takes the judgment without question. If Yuk and Yak Soma's gonna be in the academy, it Yuk Yak the series is over before it's even begun. But Yoan Mode, the director of the academy, her grandfather is pacing Yitnin outside the door. He's pacing Yitnin with Zamkrot. He beholds everything that happened. After Aaron the Yet and Soma Yet and everything, he comes in and he tried to death. And he just started laughing. He just started laughing like a madman. Because I think he knows that it's different. This kid deserves to be let in because this kid has got what it takes. The first two episodes are fantastic. And I almost don't want to go into anything else because you should watch it for yourself. You should definitely give it a try for yourself because, in my opinion, it is one of the greatest anime to ever come out. In my subjective opinion, it is one of the greatest anime to ever come out. I almost don't want to review the rest of the show because you should give it a try for yourself. And I'll tell you what, I highly recommend the show. I highly recommend the show. If you don't want any more, you don't want any more spoilers, which I'm not going to go into overtly spoiler territory, I don't care. But if you don't want any major spoilers, any plot points ruined or anything, back away and check out this anime for yourself. You can find it on kissanime.ru. The first two seasons in the dub. You can find all the seasons in sub. But as for all the seasons of the dub, season 3, you can find it on the site called kissanime.ac. It has all the seasons of the dub in season 3. All the seasons of the sub in season 4, I think. I mean, it just has everything. Everything you could ever want from it as an anime fan. We move on to the third episode. The third episode is called The Self Who Never Smiled. It's Soma's Soma got a yes that he passed. And that's a commitment ceremony. That's a ceremony for the people who made it. And And the MC says, "Hey, before we end, I wanna bring up a transfer student." And Aaron is waiting back. Aaron is thinking to herself, someone must have passed a different fuel, 'cause I didn't pass anyone. So someone must have passed a different fuel. Lo and behold, Erna comes back to herself, and Soma Yukihira is on stage. And Soma Yukihira saying, "Hey, I know my sample was kind of unexpected, but I still don't plan on using a bunch of wannabes who've never stood in front of a customer before. It's an honor to attend school as a stepping stone in my career. I love Soma. I love how honesty is. It's an honor to attend the school as a stepping stone in my career." And lo and behold, that takes everybody off. Just the supposed arrogance of this guy ticks everybody off. Just because in their mind they can do it. And so man, this speech about saying, "See a few of you at graduation." I just, I just, I just think I'm in love with Soma Yukihira. I just love the guy. I just love the guy. He's so, he's so good at everything he does. Aaron is having a conniption backstage. She's saying, "Hey, why are you even here? Why are you even here?" And someone says, "Well, I got to the end of that iPad. I figured I might eat so up. I thought you said my food was disgusting. It's something delicious. You should just come out and say it." And Aaron has had a robbery with him ever since. She she said to him, she said she said to him, "There's no way you can measure up to the students at the academy. All of these students have learned cutting edge guttural techniques. There's no way you can measure up to them. Have fun trying to play catch up." From there, I'm gonna give forward just a little bit. We meet the main cast at the Quixote dormitory. But I'm gonna give forward just a little bit to the training camp. Steps at Totsuki are meant to understand what it's like to be a step in the real world. That's what the training camp's about. This training camp is a means to weed out the weak, but also a means to figure out who's right to move on, to figure out who should move on. So we get the training camp. Everyone accepts someone freaking out about, well, someone freaking out in a sense, because someone you ask the kid and he says, "What? This isn't enough time to take a bath?" Yeah, I can say I love Soma. So Soma, I hope he got his bad knees in order. We we come to find out he does. And Soma tried to give encouragement to everyone. Soma says, "Hey, graduate, half of the applicants will move on, right? We'll just make sure that includes all of us, because we can do this ultimately." And ultimately, that'll happen. With the training camp, there's there's passing, there's cooking, there's emotion, there's everything it could possibly want. Everything it could want from this. The Foot Jaeger's a training camp. Everyone is where they're supposed to be. Everyone is in the main annex, the main meeting hall. The first step of this, alumni from Tulsi, people who have actually graduated from Tulsi, will be administering the training camp. And as we see, they don't pull any punches, because Seth Kojiro, who I didn't yak at first, but he grew on me because of the humility and all that. Seth Kojiro, he smells something in the air. He says, "Hey, you, the one with the cuddle brow. No, not to you. Yeah, you're expelled. You can go ahead and leave." And Kojiro stepped down and he says, "Your cologne, the cologne that you use, it uses a slightly sweet flavor, slightly strong flavor. That can match the smell of your food, can it not? Maybe next time you think about wearing a different cologne." So he's eliminated. He's expelled. And from the beginning, I don't yak this guy. I don't yak how arrogant he is. I don't yak how. I just don't yak this guy. Everyone's surprised. Everyone's shocked. I just check. You gotta check it out for yourself. Cause my words won't do it justice. I know I'm reviewing it. I'm reviewing it cause I yak it. I'm reviewing it cause I love it. I almost don't want to say anymore, because you should really check it out for yourself. Cause I almost don't want to say anymore. Also, if I did say anymore, this video would be like being 3 hours long, and I don't want to do that. So I'll just say this. Everything about Food Wars, everything about the Food Wars anime may be fiction. It may just be the perfect anime. I know that's subjective and everything, but it may just be the perfect anime. If you're curious, if you want to know what it's about, don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. Honestly, I'm not gonna say anymore. I'm not gonna say anymore. I'll put my journal thought out there in a separate video, but I'm not gonna say anymore because I don't want to be responsible for ruining something that could very well change someone's life and could very well be awesome for someone to experience for themselves. So, in all I'm gonna say, Food Wars is awesome. Check it out for yourself and let me know what you think. Because I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Your order's up. And as some of you here will say, you're welcome.